And welcome to episode 51 of The Shift. What's going on, everybody? So glad to have you on today's show. It is indeed an impromptu Jersey day. I am not an Angels fan. I am a Mike Trout fan. Nick Earnshaw is a Phillies fan, also a Bryson Stott fan. I guess he can start one up on this episode. I'll give that to him. You know what I'm saying? That's a nice little gift I'll give to you, Nick. That's a nice little
Thanks,
gift.
Man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You know, you came on rocking the jersey. I had my pajamas on, essentially, still. I still essentially had pajamas on, and it was just a shirt I threw on when I got home from work. And I was like, it's Jersey Day. You're wearing a jersey? I got to pull the jersey out. I've worn this like 3 times in the past 4 days. So it's all good. It might need to be washed. It might be a little stinky. It's okay, though. It's Jersey Day.
Oh, we already know you don't shower, but you don't need to tell us more.
Oh, I'll let you know. I'll let you know the full details. Oh. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, Jersey Day here on the shift. It had to be.
Jersey Day on the shift. How you doing, though, buddy? You doing all right?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing sensational. Coming on the air, and Phil's win. Phil's getting bounce back. Getting a little walk off. Perfect timing for us to jump on. Let's talk some baseball, Francisco Rojas.
Oh, baby, Nick Earnshaw. I like it. We talk about baseball on this show. That's what we do. And we're gonna. That's what we do. Sometimes. I mean, stick around for the last segment today. We're not talking about baseball. The last segment of today, we're going to talk a little music. You know what I'm saying? We got to get a little update on the future expert, Nick Earnshaw. Talk about Future's latest album. It's been 3 weeks now, so I know Nick's had time to let the album marinate. You know, he could really give his full thoughts and opinion on it, so we'll get to it.
We will. I was going to say he came out with another one on last Friday.
Did he? Oh, so we'll need both then. We'll need both.
Yeah.
We'll need updates on both. All right. So that will stick around for that. If you're a music head, if you're a hip hop head, any of those to a certain extent, stick around for that. Nick will give you an update on what he thought of those projects from Future. I'll talk about some of the music I've been listening to. Definitely been all over the place with the music I've been listening to. So stick around for that. But we have to get into Nick. We kind of talked about it before the show. We talked about some anticipated debuts. I mean, when I think of anticipated debuts, Nick, I think of Steven Strasburg. What was that? 2010, I think 2011, 2010. I'm pretty sure. And I remember Strasburg, nasty debut, had 10 or 12 strikeouts that day. Was showing why. People were saying he was the next big time thing as a hurler. And so Strasburg. There's Bryce Harper back in 2012. There was Vladdy Jr. a couple of years ago. There was Adley, one of the young teammates of one Jackson Holliday, who we're about to get into here in a second. So there's been a lot of anticipated debuts. And we had, our latest version of that, a couple of days ago, Nick Earnshaw. Jackson Holliday didn't do, so well in his debut. Didn't look great in his first at bat, but look, I think Cutter Crawford was giving him some pretty filthy stuff in that at bat. And, baseball is a very humbling game. Okay. Baseball is very humbling. So Jackson doesn't get his hit until, what was that, a few days ago now? Right, Nick? A few days ago against Milwaukee. It actually came at a big time, kind of helped the Orioles win that game, I believe. Or at least it was in the middle of a really close game. Yeah, go ahead. Exactly. Yep. So Jackson Holliday was able to get his first big hit, big RBI in a big spot. So maybe, big sign of things to come. But Nick, just kind of give me your thoughts here on what you've seen from Jackson Holliday so far. What do you think of him? It's been about I guess including tonight, about 16, 17, 18 at bats, somewhere around there. What do you see from the kid?
Yeah, so heading into this time of the show, 18 at bats for Jackson Holliday. He's 1 for 18. Now it's been a slow start for Jackson. I mean, listen, the kid's 20 years old, ton of expectations, a lot of pressure on him coming up from AAA. Corbin Burns even was quoted. I was reading the ESPN article on Holliday. Corbin Burns even said, I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, that Jackson Holliday has been pressing a little bit since he's come up to the big leagues, and for good reason. I mean, so much pressure. He starts his first game ever at Fenway Park. Crazy. I mean, that's a pretty historical spot to have your first big league game, first big league at bat, first taste of Major League Baseball. Listen, he gets the tie-breaking base hit against Milwaukee over the weekend. Heading into that game, it was 0 for 13, had 9 strikeouts before his first hit. So he's been striking out a lot. Don't love to see that. But like Corbin Burns said, he's been pressing, and you could tell. I mean, it's a lot to put on a 20-year-old with this expectation. He's the number 1 prospect in baseball. So I get it. It's a slow start. I'm not going to sit here and kill Jackson Holliday for getting off to a slow start. I mean, we've seen it before. I mean, even the guy on jerseys I'm wearing right now, Bryson Stott, he got off to a slow start to his major league career, and then eventually got it going.
The entire season too.
Yeah. So I listen. Yeah, and Holliday, it's April. It's still April. He's got time. He's going to figure it out. He's too talented not to. But he's been pressing a little bit. I think that was the perfect way to describe it. But I think he'll get there. The at-bats will come. He'll have better at-bats. He'll kind of settle in. He'll start feeling out major league pitching, and he'll be okay. But I think it's a nice confidence booster to finally get the first one out of the way, right, in a big moment to give the Orioles the lead. You got to love that, right? So I think give him some time. It's early. A lot of expectations. He's 20 years old. Still can't legally drink yet. Can't party in the clubhouse when they win the pennant this year. He's still too young. They got to give him the apple juice and the Capri Sun. All right. So give him some time.
It's
all
such
right?
an Earnshaw thing to say.
So give him some time, man. What? I'm being honest. I'm being honest here.
Apple juice and Capri Suns. Why? This is pretty. I would have said apple. Yeah, I would have said those things too. I would have said the Kool-Aid. I don't know. Yeah. Kool-Aid's too cool. I don't know. What am I saying? I'm making this worse. I'm making this 10 times worse.
You could have just left it at Capri Sun.
Yeah, it was actually, it was actually a good. I actually kind of like that now that I think about it. The apple juice and the Capri Sun. I kind of like that combo.
Yeah, like he, technically he can't have, all the beers. He can't pop the champagne. Yeah. Technically,
true.
But he'll be in there anyway. When they play the Phillies.
That's true. Listen, you're an Orioles fan, so take that jersey off, and I understand your bias, positivity towards Baltimore, so I'm not surprised here when you're sitting here, saying, "Oh, well, Jackson," but I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Look, a lot of players struggle when they come up. It's the big leagues. Even the players that get off to good starts, they eventually struggle. I mean, Alec Boehm, it was like that for a while, man. Alec Boehm finished like top 4 or 5 in the Rookie of the Year voting, I believe, in his first, it was the COVID shortened season, but either way, in his first 100 to whatever at bats, he was very good. And then, for the next couple of years, kind of struggled. And over the last year and a half, he's been a better big league hitter. I'm not saying Jackson Holliday is going to have that exact path, but you get the point that I'm making here. So it's normal for players to come up and struggle. But I think Jackson Holliday is in a good spot. Okay. Every player is going to have, not every player, but specifically a number 1 draft pick is going to have pressure. You're naturally going to feel that pressure. Jackson Holliday, though, has played with pressure his, pretty much the last, however many years of his baseball career, even in the minors. So he's used to the pressure, different type of pressure now that he's in the big leagues. But I think he's in couldn't be in a better spot. He's in a stacked lineup. He can learn from guys like Cedric Mullins, guys like Adley, who's literally been in the same position as him. Same with Gunnar, guys that have been successful so far. No, they're not like huge big league vets, but those are guys that Jackson can learn from. Right now. So I think he's in a good spot. He's the 9-hole, dude. It's just like, I know it's a bit of a different comparison, but I feel the same way. Maybe you feel this way too. Right here in Philadelphia with Johan Rojas. Like Johan Rojas, look, it's not a big deal. Like, I know it's a different situation because Jackson Holliday's number 1 pick, but Johan Rojas doesn't have to have all that pressure because he's in the 9-hole. Jackson Holliday is in the 9-hole. He doesn't have to do a whole lot. So you can let the kid grow and build here. So there is pressure, but I don't think Jackson Holliday could be in a better spot to succeed right now being in the 9-hole. So I think it makes a lot of sense for Jackson to be where he's at in the lineup. He's been crushing it in the minors. I just think it makes a lot of sense, Nick. And we'll give the kid time. The kid's got poise. The kid's got a lot of talent. We already see it. So it's exciting though. I'm excited overall.
Yeah, I am too. I am too. I think, just give him a little bit of time. He just got up here. There's been a lot of expectations on him. I think having him in the 9-hole, that's a perfect spot for him, right? Like, I think he's gotta learn, like, hey, like, there's not all this pressure on you. Like, take a breath. You're in the 9-hole spot. It's okay. You're gonna get there, right? You're gonna get there. The expectations in the 9-hole aren't as stringent as if he was if he was leading off, he was in the 2-hole. You know what I mean? And I think he'll be up there at some point. So I think it's just wait and see. It's April. It's early. I know I feel like a broken record. I keep saying that over and over, but it is. I mean, it's the truth. Like, we're still so early in the baseball season. So much will change. I mean, guys get hurt. Teams get hot. Guys break out. Maybe they haven't broken out. Guy hasn't broken out. You know what I mean? So there's just a lot of time. He came up pretty early on in the season. They sent him down to AAA to start. So I just give him a little bit of time. I think we'll get there. And I think finally getting that first hit, that's like a huge deep breath now. It's like, all right. I finally did it. I got it out of the way. It's done. Right. It's over with. Now I can really lock in, have some at-bats, and feel like myself up at the plate and stop pressing as much as his teammate would say. So I think he'll be okay. He's just pressing early on here. I think once he settles in, gets comfortable, gets a feel for the major league game, he'll be okay.
Yeah, Phillies fans, remember, Johan Rojas has a higher batting average than Jackson Holliday right now, okay? If you want to feel better about yourself, Phil's fans, I'm just saying.
He does.
I'm just saying, okay? We make real comparisons here at the shift.
What's Holliday? 056 right now?
053, I believe I just read. Okay. I'm looking at it right now. Let's read the numbers, bud, just to get you going. 60% strikeout percentage right now. Man, that's just great. I mean, his WOBA 060. I know you love those advanced analytics, and my Google Chrome is.
I don't need advanced. No. I don't need advanced analytics. I don't need advancst analytics to tell me he's struggling. He's 1 for 18. I mean, what else do you need? What else?
Well, I can't click on his standard stats. Statcast isn't letting me do crap. Screw Statcast. I guess it doesn't want me to look at his stats because it doesn't want me to embarrass him anymore. Fine, old man Fred. That should be my name for the show now. Screw it. You don't start calling me that. Don't do that. All right. Look, we're getting to the meat and potatoes. I actually am eating a sugar cookie right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to finish it. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
I feel like I'm doing snack of the night right now.
Yeah.
Shout out to John Johnson. Shout out
JJ. Shout out JJ.
Meat and potatoes are our version of snack of the night.
Yeah. How about that? You're eating on air. I've never brought a snack on air.
Well, I was hungry. I wanted a snack.
You told me what you had for dinner tonight. It wasn't meat and potatoes.
And Nick Earnshaw, the sugar cookie, is my snack of the night.
I hope he's watching right now.
Yeah, he's probably sleeping. John is sleeping for his overnight show.
Tell him to go listen to this. 13 minutes in.
Yeah, 13. Yeah, go to the 13:30 mark. Some of you non-WIP listeners are probably like, what are they talking about? But you know what? Go listen to WIP. Meat and potatoes, though. Nick, first off, what did you have for dinner?
I had a bowl from Pancheros. I had a burrito bowl, I guess you could call it. Is that what? I don't know.
Pancheros? What, Paolo Banqueros?
Oh, gosh. Are you a Chipotle guy?
I'm not a
okay. Pancheros essentially is Chipotle's competitor, and Pancheros is to me.
I thought it was God, what's the other one? Chipotle and the Qdoba. What about Qdoba? That's not it.
I've never even heard of that, but we're gonna continue here.
Oh, whoa! Hold up! You've never heard of Qdoba?
No,
Qdoba?
No, I've never heard of it.
You've never heard of Qdoba?
No, I've never heard of it. I've never been there. I went to Pancheros, all right? Are we gonna yell at me for going there? Not going to
big. What are you? That's weird. Honestly, I'm like I'm freaking out because like, I don't understand how you don't know Qdoba, but you know Chipotle. Dude, it's like McDonald's and Wendy's. Like, I don't understand this.
Jovan Alford checks in. Never heard of Qdoba.
What? You're all
I'm not
fraud.
the only one.
What?
I'm not the only one here.
You're a fraud too, Jovan.
About?
You're a fraud. You're a fraud, Jovan.
Qdoba.
Goodness.
Can I talk? Can I tell you what I ate? Can I tell you?
Go
what I ate
ahead.
for dinner? Okay.
Never heard of Qdoba. Jovan just probably, you got this inside joke.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
Go ahead. Just tell us. Tell us.
I had a bowl. I had meat in there. You know, I had it was rice. I had the chicken, the steak, the queso, the cheese. Mixed it all up. Boom, dinner. And then I also had some birthday cake. My dad's birthday today.
Oh, right. Yeah, shout out to Pops.
Oh, he said, I have heard of it. He was making fun of me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because like, what the heck are we talking about?
Clarify.
Yeah, thank you, Jovan. You're not a fraud anymore. My gosh. That's wild. I'm flabbergasted, but go ahead. Go on.
Oh, yeah. It was my dad's birthday, so we celebrated his birthday.
Yeah, shout out to Papa Earnshaw. Shout out to him. He's a Vikings fan, though, isn't he? He's weird.
Yes.
That's weird.
Vikings, Phillies fan.
Okay.
Sixers, Flyers, but Vikings for football, yeah.
That's weird.
It's interesting, yeah. My brother's a Saints fan, so it's an interesting dynamic my family has. So
yeah, we've talked about this many times before. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, it's
all the Phillies fans, though. All baseball, all on the same page. Baseball.
That's good. That's good. I got my little brother who he's a basketball fan and he likes the Warriors. So
okay.
Yeah, but I mean he's growing up it's kind of like MJ was people.
Right.
It was
Steph.
big in the 90s.
Yeah.
So my brother's 16, almost 17.
Okay.
So literally Steph has been the guy the last decade, and he's a decade ago he was 6.
Right.
So
right.
So yeah, I get that. All right, so let's get into baseball though. Let's get into baseball. I'm always going off the rails here. That's what I do. Yeah. Tell me what you think about these Kansas City Royals, man. That the Royals are just they're scorching.
They are.
They're scorching hot.
Listen.
What?
They won 7 in a row going into that Mets series.
Yeah.
I mean, they were on fire for a little bit. I mean, Mets cooled them off a little bit. All right. But the 7 in a row, I mean, look pretty good. Your boy, Bobby Witt. Tell me about
Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt is on fire, man. Bobby Witt is kind of, he is solidifying the season that he had last season, Nick Earnshaw. Salvador Perez, by the way. Looking good too. Yeah, 333 average, man, almost a 400 on base, 697 slug. The guy is he's really doing it for Kansas City right now. He's looking like, if a season was only 16 games, the Royals getting into the playoffs, Bobby Witt might be MVP. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So Bobby Witt's really doing it for Kansas City right now. He gets the big contract. That was this offseason, right? Yeah, that just happened.
Yeah.
So Bobby Witt gets a big contract. People are wondering, is it worth it for Bobby Witt? Well, Bobby Witt's saying, hell yeah, it was worth it. So the Royals playing really good baseball. Nick, they've been somebody that people have kind of been whispering throughout the offseason, like, hey, there's somebody who had a quietly good offseason. In the midst of the Ohtani stuff and whoever else the Dodgers got, Glass now. I can't think of the couple other names, but you know what I'm saying. So it was kind of a quiet offseason in general for Major League Baseball. I don't know, man. What do you think about these Royals? You think they're for real? Because some people were saying, they could be a pick to, maybe grab a playoff spot, wild card, AL Central. AL Central's kind of wide open, and it kind of is so far to start the season. But what do you think about these Royals, man? How you feel about them?
They're looking good. I got a question for you though. Talk about Bobby Witt. He gets the big contract, right? 22 hits, leads the team. 333 batting average, 389 OBP. He's 11th in Major League Baseball in OPS, over 1,000. So he's got all the numbers at the moment: 6 doubles, 3 triples. The guy's mashing the baseball, to say the least. Okay, is Bobby Witt underrated because he's in Kansas City? I feel like, I think he's extremely underrated. Yeah, I agree. Listen, former Blue Rock Bobby Witt. Got to say that.
Yeah.
Former Blue Rock, Shout out to Wilmington Blue Rocks. We're gonna get down there again at some point.
Hell yeah.
Do a show. But I just feel like he's extremely underrated, and I don't think he's talked about enough. I really don't. I feel like it's because he plays in the small market, plays for the Royals. Like no one really expected them to get off this type of start. And I know the Central's kind of wide open in a sense, but I feel like Bobby Witt isn't talked about enough. I really don't think he is. So I think he's going to start putting his name into that conversation now, especially if they continue to win. Brandon, if they continue to win and it's a great start, still a ways the way to go. I think you're going to see more people recognizing, oh, Bobby Witt's a legit MVP candidate. This is why he got a big contract. Oh, he got a big contract? Yeah, because this guy's legit. I mean, he's one of the top prospects in baseball coming out a few years back, and now he's making a name for himself. I think he's underrated. I totally do.
Yeah, I mean, kind of honestly, like, I think people use this comparison a lot, Nick. This is the first one that comes to mind is like, oh, I mean, I think it's kind of a little bit of a slanted comparison, but it makes the point of like, oh, well, would Derek Jeter, be as big and as coveted if he had played in Kansas City? Now, maybe he would have had a different career. Maybe he's in Kansas City. He doesn't win any World Series or even sniffs the playoffs. Bit a different thing. But, if Derek Jeter has, 3,000 hits with the Royals and has a Hall of Fame career, but I mean, when he gets in the Hall of Fame, everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's Derek Jeter. He played for the New York Yankees. Yeah. I kind of agree with you. I mean, yeah, like anybody, right? Like Juan Soto, when he came up with the Nationals, right? Like good player and, kind of a little bit different when he won a World Series with the Nats. But if Juan Soto had come up with the Yankees, oh my God, we see it with Jason Dominguez. We see it with, I'm trying to think of other big prospects that have come up with the Yankees in the past, but you get the picture. You get the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think if Bobby Witt played in a bigger market, but that goes for any player, honestly. Right. That goes for any player. Bobby Witt's definitely a likable player too. He's got the swag. He's got like the fun type of confidence. You know what I mean? He plays the game with some humbleness, plays the game with some swagger, has a smile on his face. I think he would be a little more talked about if he was in New York, if he was in Boston, places like that in LA, right? So I tend to agree with you. Yeah. So let's go with Bobby Witt. Let's go on the Royals as a whole. How do you feel about the Royals? Do you feel like there's enough there for them to sustain this success? I mean, you got MJ Melendez, who seems like he's having a good start to the year. He's been somebody that's a top prospect for them. I don't know. You got their pitching staff. I mean, dude, Cole Reagans is looking like people have been talking about him. He's been nasty. Brady Singer, former top prospect for the Royals. What do you think about the team, bud? What do you think about the team overall?
For me, could it just be like the early season? Oh, they got off to a hot start, but are they going to taper off? I just don't think they have enough yet. I think it's a nice start, like Pittsburgh last. Like Pittsburgh's gotten off to a quick start this year. They did last year as well. Like the Pirates got off to a huge start last season, and then tapered off, fell off. I kind of feel the same way about the Royals. Like they have some nice pieces. Are they there yet? Like Salvi's having a big year. I know he just was hurt with a grade 1 groin strain, I believe. So he might be day-to-day here. Like he's having a big year. 4 home runs, 339 batting average, 15 RBI, 7th in Major League Baseball for him, 934 OPS. Like, is that sustainable for Salvador? We'll see. We'll see. Bobby Witt, I think he could sustain it, but the rest of the guys, can their pitching keep up? Like, it's great to start the year. They look fantastic. They're second in the AL Central right now. I don't know if it's sustainable. I think you're going to see them maybe taper off. Once the dog days start coming in, I think you're going to find out, all right, they were kind of pretenders in the beginning of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah, just like the Pirates were last year and the Pirates are this year. You know what I mean? Like, same type of thing. It's good, though. I like to see it for Kansas City, especially from guys like Melendez, Witt, Reagans, guys like that. I think if you're a Royals fan, that's what you want to see. You're not like here to worry about the playoffs yet. You're not. They won 56 games last year. Like you're not worried about that. Fun story to start the year in April. I feel like we always have a team like this to start the year. A couple of years ago, it might have been even Baltimore to a certain extent, and you see where Baltimore is now. But it was Pirates last year, Pirates again this year, probably. So I'm with you. I just don't. I don't think they don't have enough yet. And they don't have, I liked a lot of the moves they made the offseason. Seth Lugo paying off so far.
Yeah.
They got Frazier, Hunter Renfro in the offseason as well. Michael Waka, I believe, is another name. So, good names, good veterans to have in that clubhouse. I think that's important, especially for the young guys. But yeah, so I'm not sold yet, but I think it's exciting to see Witt playing like an MVP right now. Melendez, Reagans, guys like that. I think that's the most important thing. By the way, if you want to go on our Twitter, it's right there under you can just see
scrolling.
That there.
It's scrolling.
It's scrolling. That's what they say. It's like
it's X. You got to get it right. We're on X. We got to change that.
Yes, we are on X. Yeah, I hate calling it X though. So the shift _media on X. You vote on our poll for the show. Yep. Who would you want on your team for the next 10 years? This is going off of Jackson Holliday right now, and actually going into our next topic. Ellie De La Cruz, Jackson Holliday, O'Neal Cruz, or Corbin Carroll. Nick, you want to answer real quick?
Yeah, the next 10 years. Oh, you're pitting like all these guys I love up against each other.
Do your thing, Nick Earnshaw.
The next 10 years.
Come on.
I think I have to go. I can't go Corbin Carroll. Can't do it.
Why not? Go ahead.
Player. I love Jackson Holiday.
Yeah, 53 batting average. Go ahead.
But I'm going Ellie De La Cruz. My Ellie De La Cruz, he's 22. He's starting to feel himself out. Like things are going well. You wearing your hat like him too. What, my hat? What's wrong with my hat?
I don't know. Ellie kind of, if you look at his baseball reference picture, he kind of bends his hat a little upwards. He kind of got it like that too. You look like Ellie.
Well, here's the thing. He's starting to come into his own. And he's 22. So O'Neal, I think, is 25, 26. Holiday's 20. I think Carroll, I want to say 24, 25, like somewhere in there.
O'Neal's 25. Carroll's 23.
Okay, so he's 23. That's it. I was saying like 24. Okay, so he's 23.
Ellie's 22.
Yeah, I like Ellie De La Cruz. I love the electricity of Ellie De La Cruz. This year, batting 286, 355 on base, 962 OPS, 6 stolen bases, 10 RBIs, 4 home runs, 16 hits, and 56 ABs. I love the energy he brings, and I think he is such a dominant force. He's got a long ways to go. At 22 years of age, with that Reds team, I like what he can bring. He brings the energy. He's, I think, going to turn it around defensively. Defensively, I think he still needs some work. But 22 years old, I think the bat's going to come around. He can mash the baseball, and I think he's just only going to continue to – all these guys will. But I think I want Ellie on my team. That's an electric player with his size as well. I want Ellie De La Cruz as my guy the next 10 years. For sure. No doubt.
Yeah, I'm actually it's tough because Corbin has literally already established himself. I know Yeah. I mean, technically, I mean, I like a player to do it over a couple of years to establish himself more than just 1 year. So yes, he's established himself, but he hasn't at the same time. But it's tough choice here. I'm actually gonna go. I'm with you on Ellie just because of the potential. It's for real though. For all sense, I know.
Welcome to the fan club. Welcome to the Ellie fan club.
Fan club. No, I'm a Corbin fan. Actually, I'm a big Corbin fan because I've seen him do it. Look, Ellie having a great start to the year. We've seen what he can do. He just got to put it together. That's all. He's got to get the experience in the big leagues. He's got to learn. He's got to be a real professional. I mean, the talent is out of this world. It's unbelievable. It's like nothing we've really ever seen at that size. So I'm gonna go with Ellie just because of how scary he could be. It's a close second for me with Corbin just because he's already shown it to us getting to the World Series and winning Rookie of the Year and whatnot. He's an incredible player in his own right. O'Neal Cruz, all these guys in this list, incredible. O'Neal Cruz, incredible. Jackson's going to be great too. But I'm going to go with with Ellie. So you're welcome.
Thanks,
sir.
man. Look at you agreeing
Yeah.
with me for once.
We're not going to talk about it. All right. So I guess that way we can just do a short update on our Ellie versus O'Neal thing, because apparently I'm against you in this, even though I just picked Ellie. Yeah, for the sake of the bit. Ellie versus O'Neal. Not looking too good for O'Neal Cruz so far. You look comparing numbers right now. I got it right up on the screen. -1 WAR for O'Neal Cruz. It's almost Ellie De La Cruz right now has a Baseball Reference WAR the same as last year's WAR. So he's already, look at that. He's doing great already. Yeah, I mean, Ellie is just like leading him in every category. They're similar with the hits, but Ellie actually has lower number of plate appearances. So there you go. I mean, Ellie in comparison, just better with the home runs, the RBIs, stolen bases. He leads the National League in caught stealing, by the way. Batting average, on base percentage, slug, OPS. Ellie's having a great start to the year. Just got to cut down on getting caught stealing, because it's like it's not a good look.
Yeah, no, it's 22 years old. He's got plenty of time, man. He'll get it figured out. But no, this guy's gonna hit he's gonna hit a bunch of home runs. I think this year. I need him to get 20. I need him to get 20 home runs this year. I need him to also stop getting caught stealing, please, Ellie. So
having too much fun.
Yeah. So listen, I need everyone comment Ellie versus O'Neal. Who's going to have the better year? Comment. Let us know. Go vote on the poll. Who would you rather have the next 10 years? Obviously, I'm all day Ellie. All day. I've been on his train since he came up through the minors. Oh, when he came up last year with the Reds, and this year,
and then he faltered. He faltered. Could he falter again? I don't know, man. I'm waiting to see. You never know. O'Neal could get hot here, baby. I want them to go up and down all year so we can have this conversation.
I know it's a great conversation.
Yeah, look, they're freakish players, man. Freak athletes. It's exciting. Ellie, chill out. O'Neal, get hot. You know what I'm saying? For the sake of the bit. All right. So
keep it going, Ellie. Keep it going. Man.
So currently, O'Neal Cruz losing badly to Ellie in the competition he didn't know he was in. So congratulations to you. Before we get to our closer for the night, Nick Earnshaw. I actually kind of want to do a video on this, so I didn't want to dive too deep on my end, because I want to talk about kind of. I want to get your thoughts first, but I think Andrew McCutchen. Look, he had his 300th home run. You were there. You almost caught the ball. Literally, that's pretty insane. I'm jealous. Yeah, I believe you. I saw your IG story yesterday. So
yeah, I was in left field. We were row 5. It landed probably like row 7, 8-ish. It bounced around. Pirates fan, of course, got it.
I saw that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I yelled at him. I said, "Well, the dad got it. The dad got it and then gave it to his son." Yeah,
that's cool.
That's how it worked out. But I don't know if he didn't like. He seemed like he was in shock, like when he had it. I don't know if he knew that, like when the dad had the baseball. I literally yelled at him, looked at him, I said, "That's 300. Like that's 300." I said it like 3 times.
Really? And did he know?
No, he kind of just looked at me and stared at me like with a blank face. So I don't know. Now he does. I mean, obviously he
I saw a video of the kid giving it to Kutch, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, the attendant came down, grabbed him, and they were going pretty quickly to go down to the locker room that the Pittsburgh Pirates put out. They put a video out of Kutch getting the ball from the fan. But yeah, it was crazy, man. I mean, because I was with my family. We were talking before the game, and I mentioned this on 97.3 on Friday during my segment. I was like, Kutch, he's probably going to hit 300 against the Phillies. I mean, they got 4 games. I mean, I could see it happening. I predicted that it was probably going to go. It was going to be off of a bullpen guy, but if it had to be a starter, I guess we kind of settled on Christopher Sanchez. So if that were going to be the guy to do it, because it was a lefty, righty, it would have made sense. But it was off Pinto, so it was off a bullpen piece. But it was a wild time. I'm looking, I'm like, that ball's coming straight for us. Like I was like, am I really going to catch this thing? But it kept going. It was a little too far. Couldn't make a diving play for it. But I'll tell you what, it was a historical moment. Pretty for seeing that. Pretty cool to see Kutch do it in Philly too. Yeah, I mean he played in
Yeah, I
Philadelphia for a
like
couple
that. I
seasons,
enjoyed that.
so
I
I
don't think
didn't.
Kutch probably cares that much, but I mean, it's a cool
Yeah,
moment. I think he likes
yeah,
Philly, so
yeah.
it's a good moment for him.
So it was cool for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Nick, I just want to real quick just kind of talk about his. It's a great story, by the way. I
Yeah.
can relate, and I almost caught Bryce Harper's home run about
Did
5 years
you?
ago when he I didn't tell you about this story. Wait, I
You
was at
might
his
have.
return. I was at his return to Washington in 2019, like the
Oh.
fourth or fifth game of the season, and I
Okay.
sat right there, and that ball was coming straight for me. I had never had a ball coming towards me like that, and yeah, it was like probably like 10 seats down. No one
Yeah.
caught it. I just stared because I didn't know what the heck to do. I was so in shock, and someone else ran over and got it. So,
Dude, I was ready to lay out, but it was just like 3 rows back. It was bouncing around. Didn't get an
yeah.
opportunity to. It just kept. I was ready. I was ready, and I would have broke my hand if I had to get that ball. I wouldn't care. But unfortunately,
Good for you,
didn't
man.
go my way. But it was a cool story, and I was there, so
Yeah.
got to see
No, it's awesome. That's
in the
awesome
area.
experience to be there. Hey, I was there for Bryce's 300th. So,
There
you
you
know,
go. There you
yeah.
go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That was probably
Yeah,
pretty
we're
cool.
yeah. So we were both there for, former MVPs,
Yeah.
bombs,
Should have
300
wore
bombs.
my Phillies McCutchen jersey that
Yeah,
I
what are you
have.
doing? What are you
No,
doing?
I know.
Fraud. You're a fraud.
Bad job on me.
Yes, very bad. All right. But I don't know. I mean, like Nick, just like it kind of made me think, like, I mean,
Yeah.
guys had a really good career to this point. I always feel
Yeah.
like we kind of have talked about Kutch's career on this
Yeah.
show. We might have, but it doesn't matter. I think it's good to bring up again. Guys had really good career. I don't know if he's Cooperstown worthy. I don't know. I did just watch a YouTube video from like a year ago, where Brian Kenny was talking about a case for him. I don't know about all that, but guy's a Pittsburgh legend.
Yeah.
He had a really dude. He's had a great career. Doesn't
Yeah.
have to have a doesn't have to be a Cooperstown career to be a great
No.
career. He's had a great career. I saw this guy Colin Dunlap put on Twitter, 18th player in history, 1,000 runs, 2,000 hits, 1,000 RBIs, 300 homers, and 200 stolen bases. Pretty darn good, if you ask me. That's some legendary stuff right there. I mean, Kutch has been really good, man. Kutch has had a great career, and I think he's somebody we should give his flowers to. His career's not over yet, but
No,
I think
it's getting there. It's getting there. The time's coming up soon. Dude, Kutch, one of my favorite players. Definitely like top 5 player, one of my favorite players of all time. No doubt about it. When he was a Philadelphia Philly, I was so excited for him to be here for a little while. But I mean, just an exciting player. Just seems like an overall good dude too, like ambassador for the game. But yeah, you mentioned the numbers. I mean, they're really good. I don't know if he gets in the Hall of Fame. I don't think they're Hall of Fame numbers. But I mean, listen, stolen bases were there. I mean, 5 All-Stars, does have an MVP. Maybe he gets some votes early on. I don't know if he gets in. But I mean, you don't have, like you mentioned, you don't have to have a Hall of Fame career to have to be a really, really good baseball player. And that's what he was. I mean, Pittsburgh has not been a good franchise for a while. I mean, you go back to Bonds. After that, it was kind of for a while. And then Pittsburgh, in kind of when he came up, late 2000s, early 2010s, that was kind of his time. Like he kind of put Pirates back on the map, kind of made them a little more relevant again, because they were very irrelevant for a long time. And, they've kind of been back to that spot since he left the first time. So, fantastic player. Definitely a Pittsburgh Pirate. But he's had a really, really good career. 300 home runs. Not much else to say about it. I mean, just when it's all said and done, hats off to McCutchen, because he's just been awesome. I love, if you don't love watching Andrew McCutchen play, you don't love baseball. I mean, it's that simple.
I agree with you. I agree. He's been an incredible player. Nick, let's close out the show. Talk about these future albums, man. Let's talk a little music. What do you think about these future albums, bud?
So Trey Turner has a song. One of his walk-up songs now is a Future song.
Okay.
I
probably heard it.
Off the Honest album. I forget which one exactly, but I know one of them is one of his walk-up songs, which is pretty funny, pretty cool. Dude, I've been loving it. Like, you and I, we're pretty big music fans. In
Correct.
general, we have different tastes, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, man, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed. So first album, with Metro Boomin. I mean, this started a whole thing in rap, right? In hip hop, there's like all this beef now going
Of
on.
course, dude. I got the cold pulling this bat, all this stuff. Yep.
So
Cole, yeah. Go ahead.
This is a legendary album. Yeah, the Kendrick record. It was awesome. I'm a loser, to say the least. And I literally waited until midnight for the first one to drop. The album's called We Don't Trust You. I went out into my car to listen to that full album from start to finish at midnight when it came out.
That's fine. I don't think you're a loser. I think you're just a fan.
So I did that. It was and I'll tell you what, I was stunned to hear Kendrick Lamar on that song. Like, it was the beat kind of like stopped for a sec, like everyone kind of stopped, and then boom, he comes on. Like, I was like, whoa, where is this coming from? And then all of a sudden, I'm hearing all these disses. I'm like, holy smokes! Oh, we got some rap beef, and it's kind of escalated from there. Drake came out, it leaked his diss record, so I'm loving it because I felt like we were getting a lot of good music for a while, from rap for a little bit and hip hop. So I feel like hip hop kind of came back a little bit with that album. Now they dropped the second one. It's kind of more of an R&B album. They put 7 bonus songs, Metro and Future did, on the end of it as like kind of a taking you back to the Monster era, 2014, 2015 sound, which was pretty cool. That was probably my favorite part of the second album that they came out with. So I've been enjoying it, man. I've been listening to it like every day. So I always do a song of the day on my Instagram.
I see that. I like
Earnshaw Radio. So yeah, I've been all over the place, but I've been putting a lot of those songs on there for right now, which has been cool.
I like it. It, man. I like it. So overall, what do you give? Scale of 1 to 10. How do you feel about those albums?
I give it a sensational. How about that?
Oh my god! Get this guy. I'm not asking you for your opinions on albums ever again. That's the last. Can I talk about what I've listened to the last couple of days?
I don't even know what you've been listening to.
I'm all over the place here. I got so we got Backstreet Boys. Listen to a little Backstreet Boys. You know, I'm a geek when it comes to. I'm not saying I'm a geek because I'm not like a huge like boy band like pop guy. I like it. You know what I mean? I had my little. Go ahead.
We know your taste. We know your taste at this point.
Yeah, sure. I have taste for a bunch of different genres. Okay, so I like my pop here and there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I listen to a little bit of Backstreet Boys. Whichever albums, As Long As You Love Me is on that album, as well as I Want It That Way. You know, the Millennium album, I believe it is. So I Want It That Way. My take on that song, it's the catchiest song of all time. I think every note, every verse, every line to that song is just catchy as heck. I think it's the catchiest song of all time. So Backstreet Boys, I saw this death metal hardcore band over the weekend at the Brooklyn Bowl in Philly. It was the after party for the Decibel beer festival, whatever it was called. It was like a metal and beer festival over the weekend. It was like the after party. It was like the show was like at midnight at the Brooklyn Bowl, right down the street from the Fillmore. It was this band called, you ready for this? This band called Sanguisugabog.
What?
Yeah. Look them up. Sanguisugabog.
Okay.
Can I play a snippet? I can't play.
I don't want to get. Well, we get copyright. You want to get copyrighted?
I mean, if it's for like 5 seconds, I don't think that's.
No, don't get us copyright with your death metal. You're throwing bows.
Yeah, dude, I did like 5 spin kicks in a row, and I got dizzy, man. I got dizzy. I was like, oh man, I can't be doing all this. I can't be doing all this.
You know what's crazy? You're older than me.
So what?
You're like old man Fran. You love to be in the mosh pit. You love to be throwing bows and all this stuff in the crowd. Me, I'm the old man here. I can't, like, I want to go sit in the seat. I want to have my cold one in my hand and just hang out, enjoy, do a couple of fist bumps. I don't like the pit. I've done the pit experience. I'm done. I want to go sit in the stands, have my beer, and be fine and enjoy the show.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? I almost texted you and asked you, not because of the show specifically. No, listen, hear me out. At this place called No, at the Brooklyn Bowl, it's literally called Brooklyn Bowl. I don't know if you know about it for a reason. There's a bowling alley there. So it's not just a concert venue. They have bowling there. They have a bar. So you could go bowling there and then you could go see a show. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool, actually. So I was going to ask you and be like, yo, want to go bowling and then go see a show?
Oh, so that's how you were going to get me there.
Yeah, I was going to be like, look, you compromise by going bowling.
Because you've been trying for years. It's been like, what, 2 years now?
Yeah, for like a year at least a year. I've been trying to get you to go. I'm gonna get you to go one day. Wait, you know what? Do you see that thing I sent you? You see that at the Devils games, they have a hardcore band playing at the Devils.
Yeah, I did.
New Jersey Devils. Let's go hit a hockey game, bud. Next year, Flyers Devils.
Yeah, next year, not this year. The season's like over.
Yeah.
The season's like over.
Next year we'll go to a Flyers Devils game and we'll intermission. We'll get in the pit. You know what I mean?
You and your concerts, man. It's crazy.
It's
I don't know how you do it. I know it's a good day. You love it. Yeah. I don't know if you're gonna ever get me there because I'll be bowling. I'll be bowling. I'll be bowling and fist bumping from afar. I'm not going near any pits. Nope.
No one's fist bumping to screaming, bud. No one's doing that. It's okay though. I get your point. I'd take it as a compliment if you actually went to one of these shows and started fist bumping. I'm like, I know he feels the music. Maybe he feels it. And then the next step after that is you get in the pit and you start bumping, fist bumping, stuff like that. There you go.
How many? So before we go, I mean, have you got any injuries from your shows? Have you gotten any scratches and bruises?
I think the worst one I got, it wasn't even like that, like crazy. I just remember this big, very like overweight guy. This one band started and he was right next to me. I didn't see him coming. He started to do like a spin kick and it wasn't even that hard, but like his foot went right into my thigh and oh my gosh, it welled up. I couldn't mosh for one of the bands I really wanted to see because it hurt so bad. And then my leg hurt for like 3 weeks straight. It like killed. It hurt to walk.
The Marlins are bringing all this stuff into the fan experience. You could bring, whatever in, and maybe we should bring mosh pits into the Miami Marlins stadium. Let's have a band play during the game.
I mean, in all seriousness, Grant Balfour used to come out to One by Metallica, and people in the Athletics crowd were headbanging. So I mean, like, I'm just saying.
You can't get that anymore in Oakland. Unfortunately, you're not going to get that anymore.
Sacramento. Go to Sacramento A's game.
Yeah.
Go to Sacramento. In the pit. Yeah. Anyway.
Sacramento.
Anyway, all right. So that's going to do it for today's show. Make sure you go vote on our Twitter poll right now because I actually have it up for 24 hours. So you can go vote on it right now.
Cool.
At the shift_media. It is who would you want on your team for the next 10 years? It is Ellie De La Cruz, B. Jackson Holliday, O'Neal Cruz, and Corbin Carroll. And right now, Nick, just to end the show, 55% in first place, Corbin Carroll, 36% Ellie De La Cruz, 9% O'Neal Cruz, and a big goose egg for Jackson Holliday.
Wow.
0%.
Wow.
That's kind of disrespectful. That's going to be a good player. You know what it is, though? I think what it is with Jackson, real quick before we go, I think the thing with Jackson is like O'Neal and Ellie are such freak athletes. It sticks out to you. And Corbin's already kind of done it so far. Where Jackson, it's like, not that Jackson's not going to be a great player, he doesn't have great attributes, but there's nothing that's like, oh my God, Jackson like that. That's different. That's scary. Not to say he's not going to be a great player, but O'Neal, Ellie had those like freak.
Yeah, they're like both like 6'7". I mean, they're both like 6'7", freakishly large. Ellie's doing all kinds of crazy stuff on the base pass, hitting monster home runs. Corbin been to a World Series, rookie of the year already. So I get it. O'Neal, he's coming around too. I mean, he's got the big frame, so I get it. Holliday, I mean, and also I feel like the youthfulness, 20. He just came up. He struggled since he came up, so people have that in their minds too. But someone's got to vote for Holliday, man. Come on.
Yeah, I was thinking at least get like
no pity votes though. No pity votes. Yeah, no pity votes though.
Right, no pity votes, but like at least 5%. I was thinking something like that.
We got to get that. That's got to get the algorithm to Baltimore Twitter at some point.
Yeah, well, we'll have to tag like a bunch of Orioles people. Well, I feel like that's that. We'll make it happen. All right. Anyway, that's gonna do it for the show. That's episode 51 today. Again, follow us on Twitter, follow us on IG. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you don't have, you definitely have YouTube. Whatever you want to do it. If you want to listen to us on Spotify, Apple, all that stuff, go listen to us, follow us, subscribe, all that stuff, and we'll talk to you guys soon.